Good day, YouTube. This is Jay Money with Falling Forward Financial. Just working on an infrastructure video here. Caterpillar, one of my favorites. I've had Caterpillar in my IRA for quite a few years. It hasn't really moved all that much. Gives a dividend, but should have bought this one a year ago. It's had a great run up. But you can kind of see what it's done here over the last 5 years. Right about in here somewhere is where I first bought my first shares. Yeah, I think they're roughly $130, somewhere right around there, and just hasn't done much. Went up to 160, just traded kind of flat here for quite some time. $130 range, just didn't really do a whole heck of a lot, and then kind of went up here a little bit. It looks like it was starting to get some steam, and then the good old pandemic hit. Wow, you could have got it for $95, and it's just been on a stair step up since then. So, but now it's kicking some donkey, so if you know what I mean. But this is what it's done here in the last 3 months. It's went from about 180 on up to what it is now at 229. Last month just traded kind of flat, and last week just been kind of up and down. But if you're looking for one to trade, know how to trade this one, you could make some pretty good money. It's kind of up and down all over the place. But I wanted to do everybody's talking infrastructure and getting in on that, and I've heard that could take off in June or July, but who's to say? So it's up to the government. So if you know what I'm saying there. But this is Caterpillar, and ticker is CAT. And if you don't know what this one is, it's a manufacturer of construction and mining equipment. I'm sure if you've seen a backhoe or any type of a tractor, any type of machinery, it might say CAT on it somewhere. So, but they do a lot of other things as well, so feel free to pause and read over that there for yourself. But they've been around forever, since 1925, so coming up on 100 years. $124 billion market cap, and you do get a not too bad of a dividend on this one, 1.79, and this is headquartered in Deerfield, Illinois. Kind of small volume on it, a little bit over 3 million, and not the greatest ratings, 46% hold, 42% buy, and I don't have any of this one in this particular account. Like I said, I have some in my retirement account at about the $130, $130, $235 cost basis. But so I found some information here on this one. I've been going to do a video on Caterpillar, and so here we go. Asia Pacific Power Rental Market Report 2021 featuring Caterpillar, Australian Limited, and more. And as you can see, this is just dated here today. So for you Caterpillar fans, you might want to pause and read over this information. I'm not going to go over this particular article, as I have more to go over. But it just kind of goes over the rental market as highly competitive and fragmented, and the market contains many more local companies, and kind of goes over a little bit of the growth rate period from 2020 to 27. And so market size, market data, and moving on. Again, you can find that on Yahoo Finance. Does Caterpillar have a healthy balance sheet? And I thought this article was pretty interesting. Volatility is not a risk we care about. We care about avoiding the permanent loss of capital. When we think about how risky a company is, we always look to use a debt, since debt overload can lead to ruin. Why does debt bring risk? And so if you'd like to read that in depth, go ahead and pause the video and go over that. But a situation is where a company must dilute shareholders at a cheap share price simply to get debt under control. By replacing dilution, though debt can be an extremely good tool for businesses that need capital to invest in growth at high rates of return. So there's good and there's bad about debt. So what is Caterpillar's net debt? And so this kind of goes over their debt. And if you'd like to pause and go over this, the red shows their debt, the blue is the equity, and the green is the cash. So cash, equity, debt. So if that scares you, I wouldn't look into Caterpillar, but it looks like they've been pretty consistent for the last 5-6 years. So maybe it doesn't affect the stock price all that much. As you can see, it's went up quite a bit in the last year. The latest balance sheet data shows that Caterpillar has liabilities of $25.7 billion due within a year and liabilities of $37.2 billion falling due after that. On the other hand, it had cash of $8.82 billion and $7.18 billion worth of receivables due within a year, so it has liabilities totaling $49.6 billion, more than cash and near-term receivables combined. So, their balance sheet is what it is. It looks like it, like I said, it's stayed the same for about the last 5-6 years. So if that doesn't bother you and you like Caterpillar as a company and their machinery, their products, go ahead and invest into them. Again, I don't give tax, legal, or trading advice. I don't have a whole lot of Caterpillar, maybe 10, 20 shares. I just let them sit there and get dividends and do their thing. And I've thought about selling them a time or two, but it's really went up in the last year. Should have bought right after the pandemic, but I didn't have the cash at the time, and should have bought more Boeing at the time. It's went up, but it's been kind of a trading kind of flat, but I think it's starting to go up again here. So I haven't looked at Boeing in a while, but always been two of my favorite companies. Freya, Caterpillar, Coke, John Deere, and more Tuesday afternoon analyst calls. And as you can see, this is just dated here today. Kind of goes over the S&P 500 was more or less trading sideways. Some analysts are saying the dispersion as a result of the U.S. officials pausing the rollout of the J&J vaccine. And if you follow J&J, they've been working on a vaccine as well. So Pfizer I've done videos on, Moderna, AstraZeneca, they're all working on the vaccine. For those that might have missed 24/7, an earlier round of analysts on Tuesday included FedEx, JetBlue, NVIDIA, and PepsiCo. I just did a video about PepsiCo with the can't say the name of it, their energy drink that's supposed to have hemp in it, Rockstar. PepsiCo launches Rockstar Energy Hemp in Germany. I just did a video on that back on the 9th. So if you're interested in Rockstar, Pepsi, or hemp, you can watch that video as well. Freya I've done a bunch of videos about. Downgraded it, I'm surprised, from a buy to a hold with a $17.50 price target. Probably because of earnings, I suppose, and I covered that on a couple videos. Caterpillar, the stock traded near 230 on Tuesday, 52-week range at a consensus price target of 217.91. So it's got an outperform rating. Coke traded at 53, 52-week range of 43.20 to 54, consensus analyst of 57.59. Peer perform. And John Deere, I wish I would have bought John Deere about the same time I did Caterpillar. John Deere's just done way better than Caterpillar for some reason. I haven't really looked at John Deere all that close, but it's showing an outperform with a 425 price target. And these companies I don't really follow, but feel free to pause and you can go over that information. When I was at TD Ameritrade, there was a guy that he called in and was doing a trade. All he traded was John Deere. I want to say the stock was $140 at the time, and he traded 1,000 shares at a time. And he would make like a 50 cent, sometimes $1, and he'd do that 2-3 times a week. And I asked him why, because I looked in his history, and that's all he ever traded was John Deere. I guess he'd worked for them for 20-some years, had stock in the company, worked for John Deere, knew the ups and downs, and so that's why he traded it. I thought was really interesting, but it just kind of blew my mind when I first saw somebody trading 1,000 shares of a stock that was $140 a share, and he was just looking for that 50 cent to $1 window. So, and then sold out. Why Caterpillar is a good choice for investors after new price target of $217.38, and just as we went over. While shares priced at $230.75 at the close of the session, up 0.12%, the company report on 2/19/21 reports the fourth quarter 2020 financial results. And so kind of some interesting information. Caterpillar now 26.77% up from the year-to-date trading value. Cat stock saw the intraday high of $232.20, lowest to $227.54 per share. So if you could make some money here on Caterpillar trading it. The company's 52-week high price of $237.78, which means a current price of plus 28.67. So there is a little bit of a play in there. You could make some money, $3-4 per trade if you're trading enough shares. But I don't have 100 or 200 grand laying around to be trading just Caterpillar. So if I did, I'd probably just buy the shares and let them sit there and collect the dividends. So that's easier in my mind, but someday I'm going to get to trading stock. I just haven't decided which one, and see if I can trade it and make some money, maybe make some videos on it. So, but that's for in the future at another time. Feel free to pause and go over the rest of the information there for yourself. Over here to Reddit, see if can find any juicy details here. Shot up 18%. That was a month ago. So the reason I wanted to point this one out is because they're kind of in the ground floor stages before it totally goes through the roof with the infrastructure. I think this one's going to go up, probably along with John Deere and some other infrastructure stocks. But if it goes the right way, who knows? It could be a $240, $250 dollar stock. I'm just being optimistic, and you can kind of see the range here. You could have got it for $100 a year ago, and the high of $237.78. So you could have doubled your money. Let's see if we can find any information here. Alerted. So you got some bulls and some bears on this one. Had approximately 113 million. Go to the short side. Just trading followers. But if you have Caterpillar, go ahead and leave that in the I just made a Dogecoin video tonight. If you have shares of Caterpillar, go ahead and leave that in the comments along with your cost basis, and if you're long on it, or if you're just buying for the infrastructure and then selling out, or any information you want to put in the comments would be interesting to know. And if you have a John Deere, or if you think Caterpillar sucks and go with John Deere, put that in the comments as well. So I might be working on a John Deere video as well. So, but if you haven't smashed that like button yet, go ahead and hit that for me, as well as subscribing. That would really help out the channel, and hit the bell so you're notified of when the next videos drop. But that's all that I have for Caterpillar, and I thank you for watching the videos. Happy trading, happy investing, stay green. Cheers.